always huge optimism whenever a new era of Doctor Who begins, but to quote the Fifth Doctor, it feels different this time. Arguably, Doctor Who has never been better equipped to succeed. From the companies involved in the show to the people making it, there are several factors that indicate it's about to be bigger than ever before. I'm Ellie with Who Culture, here with 10 reasons we're entering a Doctor Who golden age. Number 10. The return of Christmas specials. From 2005 to 2017, every series of Doctor Who was accompanied by a Christmas special. From then on, these extra episodes were rebranded as festive specials and were broadcast on New Year's Day rather than Christmas Day. Former showrunner Chris Chibnall has since confirmed that the decision to move away from the Christmas slot was part of the BBC's strategy to keep the show feeling fresh rather than any anti-Christmas agenda, if you say so. But now the specials are back, with Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson's first episode together set to air in December 2023. And though in truth the Christmas specials had probably grown a bit stale by 2017, after 6 years without them, we're well and truly ready for their return. In today's TV landscape, the idea that Christmas Day is a better slot than New Year's Day is largely subjective. After all, lots of big dramas premiere on New Year's Day, like Sherlock and Happy Valley. But Christmas Day feels like more of a stay inside and watch telly kind of day, especially for family shows, which will allow Doctor Who to capture lots more casual viewers. There's also something just inherently right about having Doctor Who on at Christmas. The specials were a big part of what made RTD Era 1 so successful, and we're sure they'll do the same for RTD Era 2. Number 9. Stellar guest stars. Doctor Who has a long history of snapping up guest actors right before they become ultra-famous. Looking at you, Andrew Garfield, Felicity Jones and Olivia Colman. But equally, it's important to cast people who are already known to the general public. This has never been a problem for Doctor Who, as plenty of well-known actors are as keen to appear in the show as we are as keen to see them there. Recent casting coups have included Alan Cumming and Stephen Fry, and if you go back further, there's Keeley Hawes, John Hurt, Michael Gambon, God rest his soul, Timothy Dalton and Kylie Minogue. The RTD2 era is going to be no exception. From Drag Race winner Jinx Monsoon to Frozen actor Jonathan Groff to How I Met Your Mother's Neil Patrick Harris, there are some huge names lined up to appear already. Even Bonnie Langford returning as Mel is a massive star in the Doctor Who sphere. No doubt there are many more guest actors yet to be announced as well. I mean, Ryan Gosling was recently rumoured, so just imagine the possibilities. But the ones we do know about are all major grabs for the show, and with all different kinds of representation in the cast, Doctor Who is going to appeal to a wider audience than ever. The stars really are aligning. See what I did there? Number 8. A balance of old and new. That just immediately made me think of the scene where Amy brings the Doctor back with her something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue speech. So, completely irrelevant, just thought you might like to hear my inner thoughts. A mix of old and new elements is important to any series of Doctor Who, and RTD2 seems to have the balance just right. Nowhere is this better encapsulated than in the first story of the new era. The Star Beast was originally a 1980 Doctor Who magazine comic strip, and it's now being adapted for television. The Doctor himself is a brand new incarnation, but played by a previous Doctor actor, and the story's monsters, Beep the Meep and the Wrath Warriors, will please long-term Doctor Who fans while working just as well for new viewers, like the Autons did in the first episode of the 2005 revival. Unit and Kate Stewart are also returning for the 60th anniversary, as is the Celestial Toymaker, albeit in a new guise. Looking ahead to Series 14, the limited information that we have so far suggests a lot of new monsters and characters, with familiar faces like Mel sprinkled in to keep hardcore fans happy. And that's without even mentioning the wealth of exciting Doctor Who newcomers behind the camera, such as BAFTA-nominated director Julianne Robinson. It's a tried and tested formula, which should satisfy fans and non-fans alike when these new episodes hit our screens. Number 7. A stripped-back TARDIS team. How big is the perfect TARDIS team? The original Doctor/Companion lineup was 4 people strong, but this has proved to be the exception rather than the rule, with most subsequent seasons featuring just 1 or 2 companions. The 13th Doctor's fam was the first 4-strong TARDIS team in 35 years, though it didn't work as well here due to the shorter story length compared to the classic series, which gave neither Ryan, Graham or Yaz much space to develop. As such, it will be refreshing to return to the 1 companion format for Series 14. team, almost a decade on from the last Doctor companion duo, the 12th Doctor and Clara. At heart, the companions are the audience's way into the show. TARDIS teams of all shapes and sizes can work, but in practice, the duo has always been the winning formula, offering more opportunities for the companion to develop, both as a character in their own right and alongside the Doctor. It's the template RTD used when he brought the show back in 2005. It worked wonders then, it's worked wonders since then. 10 and Donna, 11 and Amy, and we've no doubt it'll work just as well in 2024. In other words, get ready to fall in love with the 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday. Number 6. Return of the Kings. Russell T Davies's return as Doctor Who showrunner is highly unprecedented. The only remotely similar move in the show's history is when 3rd Doctor producer Barry Letts briefly came back to help oversee Tom Baker's final season. But in this case, RTD's return is merely the tip of the iceberg. Most obviously, we have David Tennant and Catherine Tate back as the Doctor and Donna, one of the best regarded TARDIS teams of all time. It's a canny move which will both tempt back viewers of their original episodes while introducing these characters to a whole new generation. Additionally, the anniversary specials will feature the last screen performance of the late, great Bernard Cribbins, another beloved character who harks back to the RTD1 golden years. Behind the camera, executive producers Phil Collinson, Julie Gardner, and Jane Tranter all performed similar roles in the original RTD era too. We've got Rachel Talalay and Mark Tonderai, who directed Capaldi and Whittaker episodes respectively, also both returning to helm new stories. And perhaps most excitingly of all, Murray Blooming Gold is back as composer. These are all people with a proven track record of delivering fantastic Doctor Who, and they're all at the top of their game, and these are just the ones we know about. It really is a dream team, and if anyone's going to catapult the show into a new golden era, it's this lot. Number 5. Bigger and better marketing. Doctor Who is a funny show to market. You've got two groups of people to account for. The people who have always watched the show and always will, and the people with a passing interest or none at all who may be tempted to give it a try. Striking a balance between the two can be tricky, but generally speaking, more promotion is never a bad thing. The more secretive approach of the Chibnall regime sought to preserve mystery, but was criticised by many for being lackluster. Whether it's a direct response to those criticisms or simply their preferred way of doing things, the current marketing team has dialed things up significantly. We've had some truly exceptional marketing so far, from the inspired emoji teasers to trailers in primetime slots like Christmas Day and the premiere of Strictly Come Dancing, to the long-awaited return of Who Spy and even a Subwave Network Instagram broadcast channel. This constant drip feed has kept fans engaged while constantly giving casual viewers something to notice when they're channel hopping or doom scrolling. And this is only the beginning. Think how big Doctor Who is going to be when the actual episodes are out. I can't wait! Number 4. The Whoniverse begins. Back in 2021, Russell T Davies, Doctor Who's former showrunner at the time, argued that Doctor Who should be operating on the same level as Star Wars and Marvel, with spin-offs such as The Return of Donna Noble and a 10-part series featuring the 10th and 11th Doctors. He said, "I think that will happen one day, if we can just shift Doctor Who up a gear." Well, 8 months later, RTD was announced as Doctor Who's new showrunner, and fans began to read those comments in a very different light. Earlier this year, he said that it was, and I quote, "time for the next stage for Doctor Who, and that the spin-offs are ready." In other words, we're getting spin-offs. It's not been said what these spin-offs are or when they'll materialise, though a show based around UNIT has been strongly rumoured. An anthology series based around the show's monsters has also been suggested. Whatever the case, more spin-offs can only be a good thing. It's been said many times that Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures was so successful because they catered to audiences that might not have otherwise watched Doctor Who, and could be watched in isolation, while at the same time feeding back into the main show and thus rewarding the loyal viewer. Above all, more spin-offs means more hours of Doctor Who content, which no one is going to say no to, let's be honest. Number 3. A bigger audience. Thanks to the Disney Plus deal, the new era of Doctor Who will have unprecedented global reach. For existing American and Australian viewers, this is something of a mixed bag. In those countries, the show has previously been available to watch on free-to-air TV networks like BBC America and ABC. Going forward, it will be hidden behind the paywall of a Disney Plus subscription. However, on the whole, the deal will make Doctor Who much more accessible to a worldwide audience, giving the show more potential fans than it's ever had in its history. Plus, with parties like Bad Wolf and Disney involved, the show's budget is bigger than ever. Although reports of £10 million per episode have been debunked, RTD has revealed that the current budget is more than I've ever had to work with. Doctor Who has always been the little show that could, but it's time for it to level up, and featuring on one of the biggest streaming services in the world is a surefire way to do just that. Number 2. No more gap years. The Doctor often struggles to navigate the TARDIS with any regularity, and over the past few years, Doctor Who's broadcast schedule hasn't been much different. In fact, it's been nearly a decade since we've had 2 series broadcast at the same time of year in consecutive years, Series 8 in 2014 and Series 9 in 2015. This has largely been down to the show's punishing production schedule. Chris Chibnall recently revealed that they just missed an autumn 2019 slot for Series 12, and the decision to postpone Series 10 to 2017 was likely a similar story. A 2011 interview with Stephen Moffat regarding the split series approach for Series 6 and 7 is particularly telling. He said, "Why are we killing ourselves and risking compromising the show in order to go out in the middle of summer? The beauty of the current era is that the show is enjoying longer lead times than ever. The 60th anniversary specials wrapped well over a year ago, Series 14 is in the can, and Series 15 is already in pre-production. Indeed, RTD has confirmed that his plan is for annual Doctor Who with no gap years. A regular series pattern is crucial to maintaining and growing interest in a brand, so this is fantastic news. If Bad Wolf can keep this up, Doctor Who is going to have a bigger presence than ever before." Number 1. Ncuti Gatwa is the perfect casting. Incoming Doctor Ncuti Gatwa is already a massive star. He's instantly recognisable to a whole generation thanks to his role as Eric Effiong in Netflix's Sex Education, and was a small but unforgettable part of this year's biggest blockbuster hit, Barbie. He's done Shakespeare, he's done photo shoots for Rolling Stone and Vogue, he has a truly incredible dress sense, and now he's Doctor Who. Little is known about what the 15th Doctor will actually be like, but everything we know about the man himself, from his star power to his values to his heritage, makes him an inspired choice for the part. As a black queer man and a survivor of genocide in Rwanda, he's a doctor for our times. As he told Rolling Stone, "This person fits in everywhere and nowhere. I am the Doctor. The Doctor is me." He's also a fantastic actor too, having shown incredible range in Sex Education and possessing the sort of infectious energy that will no doubt make him a fan favourite Doctor right out the gate. Gatwa is perfectly placed to attract a brand new audience to the show, and the pieces are in place for something truly special. And now you should have all the information you need to understand why Doctor Who is entering a new golden age. The only thing people may be concerned about was the Disney Plus deal, but you can check out our videos where we go into a deep dive into that deal, which might put your minds at ease. In the meantime, I've been Ellie with Who Culture, and in the words of River Song herself, goodbye, sweeties.